All right, welcome back to the Naval podcast, where we post intermittently since the year 2020, I believe. We are going to talk about some how to get rich content. I've pulled out some tweets from Naval's Twitter from the last year, and I got a little help from Super Grok as well. And we're just going to go through them. Here's actually my first question. You told me that you got an early copy of the Elon book from Eric Jorgensen. Anything surprising in there?
I'm only about 20% of the way through. It's really good. It's just Elon in his own words. And I think what's striking is just the sense of independence, agency, and urgency that just runs throughout the whole thing. I don't think you necessarily learn a step-by-step process by reading these things. You can't emulate his process. It's designed for him. It's designed for SpaceX. It's designed for Tesla. It's contextual. But it's very inspiring just to see how he doesn't let anything stand in his way, how maniacal he is about questioning everything, and how he just emphasizes speed and iteration and no-nonsense execution. And so that just makes you want to get up and run and do the same thing with your company. And to me, that's what the good books do. If I listen to a Steve Jobs speech, it makes me want to be better. If I read Elon on how he executes, it makes me want to execute better. And then I'll figure out my own way. The details don't necessarily map, but more importantly, I think just the inspiration is what drives.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting because I think people look to you as inspirational, yes, obviously, but also laying out principles that people actually do follow.
I keep my principles high level and incomplete, partially because it just sounds better and it's easier to remember, but also just because it's more applicable. One of the problems I have with the how to get rich content is people ask me highly specific questions on Twitter in 140 or 280 characters, and I just don't have enough context to respond. These things require context. That's why I liked AirChat. That's why I liked Clubhouse. That's why I liked spoken format back when I used to do Periscopes. When people would ask me a question, then I could ask a follow-up question back to them, and they could ask me another question, and we could dig through and try to get to the meat of what they were asking. And then I could say, well, given the information that I have, if I were in your shoes, I would do the following thing. But most of these situations are highly contextual, so it's hard to copy details from other people. It's the principles that apply. And so that is why I keep my stuff very high level. And in fact, I think Eric Jorgensen, the author, has done a good job of trying to break out the little quotable bits and put them in their own standalone sentences. So he's pulling tweets out of Elon's work. But I don't know. I just do my style. Elon does his. He inspires in his own way. Maybe I inspire someone in my own way. I get inspired by him. I get inspired by others. Inspiration all the way down.